So we have discussed yesterday the applications of the Cauchy-Riemann equations to identify the problems, that is the flow related problems. So CR equations, right? So here actually yesterday I have given one problems. So if W is equal to 5 plus I psi, if W is equal to 5 plus I psi represents the complex potential, you refresh your page, I think so you will be able to get it. Rutuja. And psi is equal to x square minus y square. Psi is equal to x square minus y square plus x divided by x square plus y square divided by x square plus y square determine the function phi. So this was actually already discussed in the yesterday's class. Determine the function phi of x comma y, right? So there is some other method called Milne-Thomson's method to solve the same problem. Right? Milne-Thomson's method. What this method suggests is, just a minute. Yeah, these are analytic. So if it is analytic, then only actually we say that these are orthogonal functions. That is the basic theory, right? What we have discussed, right? So if the function is analytic, then only actually we'll be doing all these things. If the function is non-analytic, none of these rules applies and none of the complex analysis theory works. Got it? Okay. Anyway, so see this. So this is Milne-Thomson's method. If the function is analytic, then actually we have to be applying that. We say that the derivative of this particular function dw by dz is equal to dou phi by dou x plus I times of dou psi by dou x. Right? So this is the derivative of any analytic function given in this particular form, dou phi by dou x plus I times of dou psi by dou x. Now here actually it was given that phi of xy we need to be finding out provided if it was given as psi of x comma y. Now this phi can be expressed in terms of psi with the help of the CR equations. That is dou phi by dou x is equal to dou psi by dou y. And if you replace in this equation, then dw by dz is equal to dou psi by dou y plus I times of dou psi by dou x. And this is the derivative of the function. Now we have already got the function which was given as the problem statement. Now in this actually, if you take the derivative of this with respect to y, then take the derivative of this with respect to x and then actually add it together. So this is dw by dz is equal to dou psi by dou y. So this is minus 2y plus derivative of this with respect to y. So x being the constant, minus x by x square plus y square whole square into derivative of this inner function x square plus y square derivative is 2y. Hence actually this is minus 2y plus minus x into 2y divided by x square plus y square whole square. This is dou psi by dou y value plus I times of dou psi by dou x. So this is going to be of 2x and then the derivative with respect to x. So x is there in the numerator and the denominator. Hence this is going to be of x square plus y square into derivative of x is 1. And then minus x into derivative of this is 2x whole divided by x square plus y square whole square. Right? So this is the derivative which is expressed in terms of x and y functions. Now what this Milne-Thomson's method explains is replace x is equal to z and y is equal to 0, right? And simplify this particular function. So replace x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. And then actually this dw by dz, whatever is there here, now on the right side actually it will be purely a function of z. Then actually you can do the integration as if like it is the normal integration. So that is here actually minus 2y. So this is going to be of dw by dz is equal to, this is 0 and this is also 0, and plus I times of, because y is equal to 0. So here also 0, here also 0 is there. Now I sin of 2z, and here x square plus y square minus 2x square. That means x square minus 2x square is minus x square, and y square you can replace it 0. So this is going to be of minus z square divided by, again in the denominator y is equal to 0 and x is equal to z, if you keep it, then this is going to be of z power 4. So this z square and z square, and hence actually this is going to be of I into 2z plus minus 1 by z square. Got it? So this is the value of dw by dz. dw by dz is equal to I into 2z minus 1 by z square. Right? I think so. Let me cross check that. Yeah, that is correct, right? So once you got to this point, then the methodology, why this assumption, right? So why this assumption is, here actually we were talking of the variables x and y. Now z is equal to x plus iy, and this is called as the real part, and then this is called as the imaginary part, right? Here actually, being the function to be analytic, and the function exists its derivative everywhere on the plane, because that is an analytic function in that particular region. Now if you take one particular point where that is on the real line, so on the real line y is equal to 0 and x value is equal to z. So on this particular real line actually we have taken one particular scenario, because that is valid everywhere as the function is analytic everywhere. Got it? And this way, by taking this assumption, you will be simplifying the entire integral to a smaller value. So hence actually this dw by dz is equal to 2z minus 1 by z square into I will be valid. So here actually the assumption what we are making here, it is we are taking one particular scenario on the real line, where on the real line at every point in this, so this is a random z which involves x plus I0. And here also if you take it, this is going to be of z is equal to x plus I0. On this line actually we are trying to identify a characteristic which is valid everywhere on this particular plane, because this is the analytic function in this particular region. I got it? Got it? Because. So why we are doing this way is because this way if you take it, you are eliminating one variable so that you can easily do the integration. Got it? Which is valid everywhere. Though you have considered only on the real line, which is valid everywhere on this particular plane. So dw by dz, now if you take it onto this side, I into 2z into z minus I by z square into dz. Now this you can integrate it, and w is the function 2i times of z square by 2 minus I 1 by z square is minus 1 by z, and this is some arbitrary constant c. So this actually 2 will cancel. W is equal to I z square plus I by z. Now this actually can convert back in terms of, again, now actually I am generalizing it. See this here actually I have taken as 0, and then actually, so you didn't understand this concept. See this Milne-Thomson's method, what it states is, we are trying to consider a point on this particular real line. Now here the understanding is the function is analytic on this entire xy plane. If the function is analytic on the xy plane completely, now you can consider the derivative at any point on this particular line or on this particular plane, which is valid, and the derivative is represented as dw by dz. Derivative is represented as dw by dz. Now, if you consider a dw by dz value on this particular real line, where z can be expressed as x plus I into 0, and hence actually z is equal to x is a safe assumption to find out the derivative on this particular line. But this value, if I take it even here also, this is valid because actually you are generalizing the discussion for z only, though we have considered on this particular line. Got it? Understood or not? Right? So once you got this value, then actually you can take this as iz square. Z is nothing but x plus iy, and square it plus I by x plus iy. And then actually x minus iy divided by x minus iy. Then you can separate the real and imaginary parts by expanding this equation. W is equal to I into x square minus y square plus 2xy into I. That is the expansion of this. Plus I times of x minus iy divided by x square minus y square plus some arbitrary constant c. So this arbitrary constant may be a complex constant, right? So once you got this value, you multiply this value into the inner value. So this is going to be of x square minus y square into I minus 2xy, and then I, if you multiply this, then actually this is going to be of plus xi by x square minus y square, and minus of I into I is going to be of plus 1 into y by x square plus y square, and then actually, sorry, x square plus y square, yeah. So plus y square, this arbitrary constant, you can call this as C1 plus I times of C2 because this is a complex constant. Now actually, there is a I term here, there is a real term here. I term here and the real term here. Again, real term and the I term. Separate the real part and imaginary part. Real part will be the function actually what we have need to be finding out. And the imaginary part is nothing but what it was given in the problem statement. Got it? So this way actually, the Milne-Thomson's method actually, it will be a simplified method to identify the real part if the imaginary part was given, or to identify the imaginary part if the real part was given. But essentially, if the function is analytic and the CR equations are satisfied, then only you can opt for this particular method. Got it? This is also one of the method. Got it? I see. As I said earlier, we were doing the integration with respect to z, but z is a complex number. So as you are doing the integration with respect to z, which is a complex integration, hence there will be an arbitrary constant. This arbitrary constant, a complex constant, that is C1 plus IC2. This is how we need to put it. Got it?